Edric's journey of identity. Edric, now a young man, finds himself caught between the traditions of the Danes, who raised him, and the Saxons whose blood runs in his veins. The tensions between the two cultures become more personal when his foster father, Jarl Sigvar, tasks him with raiding a Saxon village. During the raid, Edric hesitates as he sees the fear in the eyes of the villagers. Among them, he notices a young monk named Father Edric, who speaks to Edric in Saxon tongue, calling him one of us. This moment sparks doubt in Edric's loyalty to the Danes. Against his comrades' expectations, Edric spares the monk and some villagers, but his mercy does not go unnoticed. Returning to the Dane camp, Edric is confronted by Sigvar, who questions his loyalty. Sigvar, though he loves Edric as his own son, warns him, "Mercy is a luxury for the weak, and weakness has no place among us." Sigvar's words sting, and Edric begins to question whether the Danes' way of life aligns with his own values. In the Saxon kingdom of Wessex, King Alfred, known for his wisdom and strategic mind, is rallying forces to defend against the Viking invasions. Father Edred, the monk Edric spared, reaches Wessex and speaks of the Dane warrior with a conflicted heart. Alfred sees an opportunity. Could this warrior be turned to the Saxon cause? Edric is soon captured in a skirmish with Saxon forces and brought before Alfred. Rather than executing him, Alfred appeals to Edric's Saxon heritage, offering him a place among the Saxons if he renounces the Danes. Edric is torn between loyalty to his foster family and a desire to discover his true heritage. Edric agrees to fight for the Saxons, but sets one condition. He must face Sigvar in battle himself. He believes this will either free him from his divided loyalties or reaffirm his place among the Danes. He must face Sigvar in battle himself. Edric, now under the Saxon banner, finds himself an outsider among Alfred's warriors. Though he agrees to fight for the Saxons, whispers follow him. He is still a Dane. His massive build and the scars of his raids mark him as a man forged by Viking brutality. The Saxons, though wary, cannot deny his skill. Edric, torn between his Danish upbringing and Saxon heritage, faces an internal battle over loyalty and identity as he navigates the complexities of his dual heritage, culminating in a fierce confrontation with his foster father, Jarl Sigvar. Alfred assigns Edric to train under Ethelstan, a grizzled warrior known for his disdain of Danes. Ethelstan pushes Edric harder than anyone else, calling him half-Dane and questioning his loyalty at every turn. Edric, though resentful, begins to absorb the Saxon way of war, tight shield walls, discipline, and cunning strategies. He finds himself drawn to the unity of the Saxons, a stark contrast to the chaotic, individualistic ferocity of the Danes. However, memories of his foster family linger, Sigvar teaching him to wield an axe, the laughter of his foster siblings around the fire. Edric, torn between his Danish upbringing and Saxon heritage, faces an internal battle over loyalty and identity as he navigates the complexities of his dual heritage. Culminating in a fierce confrontation with his foster father, Jarl Sigvar. Father Edred becomes a quiet ally to Edric, teaching him about Saxon faith and the god they follow. Edric struggles to reconcile this with the gods of the Danes, whom he had prayed to for victory. During a quiet moment at a village church, Edric asks Edred, "What if I belong to neither world?" Edred responds, "Sometimes the path we walk is not to belong, but to lead." These words haunt Edric, planting the seeds of a destiny beyond the Saxons or Danes. Meanwhile, Jarl Sigvar receives word of Edric's defection. Heartbroken but enraged, he vows to crush the Saxons and bring Edric back, alive or dead. Among the dead, Ethelstan finds a carved amulet bearing Edric's name, left as a taunt. Ethelstan accuses Edric of being a spy. The Saxons demand Edric prove his loyalty by fighting Sigvar's raiders in a surprise counterattack. Alfred agrees, but warns Edric, "If you falter, no mercy will be given." On the battlefield, Edric leads a small force against the Danes, facing men he once fought beside. The clash is brutal and personal. He recognizes familiar faces among the enemy, childhood friends, men who taught him to fight. In the chaos, Edric faces his foster brother Kjartan, who spits venomously, "Traitor! You fight like a Saxon dog now." Their duel is fierce, ending with Edric disarming Kjartan but sparing his life. This act of mercy, though unspoken, cements Edric's inner transformation. After the battle, word reaches Edric that Sigvar himself marches to crush the Saxons. Alfred, impressed by Edric's valor, grants him the chance to face Sigvar as he requested. Edric, torn between his Danish upbringing and Saxon heritage, faces an internal battle over loyalty and identity as he navigates the complexities of his dual heritage, culminating in a fierce confrontation with his foster father, Jarl Sigvar. The two meet on a stormy battlefield. Sigvar, clad in wolf pelts, bellows, "You were my son, now you are nothing." The fight is ferocious and emotional. Sigvar's strength is unmatched, but Edric's training with the Saxons gives him the edge. Finally, Edric disarms Sigvar and holds an axe to his throat. Sigvar glares at him. "Do it, boy. Prove you're no Dane." But Edric hesitates. Killing Sigvar would sever his past completely, but sparing him might doom his place among the Saxons. The world watches as Edric makes his choice.